All right, guys, this is episode 2 of the Glen and Corey Show. We hope somebody's joining in. Want to say hello. So let's get started here. We're going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with the weekend Premier League games. A little bit of a roundup. Last week, we'll just go through those quickly. Liverpool versus Everton. I had that game going at 2-2. Almost got it on the money. I hit 1-1.
Still a draw.
Still a draw. Pretty good game. Sucks for Liverpool there at the end. Swansea versus Sunderland. I had at 2-0. I was dead wrong in that one. I had Sunderland winning that one. It was a draw, 0-0. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. That was easy. I had 4-1 Chelsea. It was 3-0 Chelsea. Aston Villa really didn't stand a chance. Southampton versus QPR, I had a 2-1. It finished 2-1, Southampton. Man City versus Hull City, another easy one there. I had Man City at 3-0. Surprisingly, it was 4-2. Hull City was able to get 2 goals there. Man United versus West Ham, I picked right on the money, 2-1. Finished 2-1. Leicester versus Crystal Palace, I had Crystal Palace losing that game. They actually ended up winning that game.
And also, we forgot to bring in Andrew. Well, we have our first guest on, Andrew.
Yes, if you see that floating head there at the bottom,
yeah,
that's
he's
our first
head.
guest, Andrew.
Drew, what do you have? Do you have anything to say about the games this week before we get into deeper into Arsenal?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to start off with how disappointing it would be for Liverpool fans, for sure. I know they weren't really projected to do that well, obviously, but coming that close last year, they got Balotelli, which should be a strong point for sure for them. But that goal at the end, it looked like they had it, and then Jagielka sniped it in. But
Great finish too.
yeah, it was awesome. And I thought that Balotelli, when he hit it off the post, that was going to be awesome for them. But nope, surely wasn't. Another disappointing finish for them. Not really that big, but the Peter Crouch goal for Stoke, Victor Moses served up a nice cross for them, and Newcastle still is not there yet.
How about that celebration afterwards too?
Yeah, the crab, that was awesome. But Diego Costa for sure, best in the league, no doubt. Minus his training, obviously. That was
there. Jose Mourinho coming out and saying that Diego Costa doesn't train much, and he's been getting his rest. Which, hey, if that's what works, that's the formula.
Exactly. Don't fix it.
There you go. So let's get into Arsenal versus Tottenham. Heartbreak. Well, heartbreak and not a heartbreak. I had that game going 2-1. Obviously, if you watched, you know that it ended 1-1. What can be said? We had 3 key injuries, which kind of screwed us for that game and could be potentially for deep into the season. Aaron Ramsey came out today. He's out for 6 weeks. Jack Wilshere also injured, and Mikel Arteta also injured. Both out of the Champions League games for this week.
Oh wow.
That leaves our center defensive mids basically helpless. We have Flamini and Diaby. Andrew, what do you got to say about that?
Well, your attacking mid is really your strongest point. You got Ozil, Cazorla. I even like Chamberlain. He's finally coming in for you guys, playing consistently. He needs to move up and start scoring more goals because he's really not doing that. And they don't have too many goal scorers. And that leads me to Welbeck. I think he'll be a great poacher in the area. He's what they need. I believe that their coach said today that they need to start getting more crosses in so they can score from outside because you got Alexis Sanchez and the midfield I was talking about is just killer. That's definitely a strong point. So I think that with the injuries and everything, just keep it up. Play consistent and pass. Almost like Barcelona, and that'll open up a lot of stuff for your decent goal scorers.
Now it's tough because Arsene Wenger has been playing Ozil out wide as opposed to his favorite number 10 role, which he is proven to be successful in, which is frustrating for Arsenal fans. He's clearly unhappy when he's not.
What is the number 10 role?
Now the number 10 role will sit right behind the striker.
Okay.
Usually.
So like a 1-1 type thing.
Yeah, he'll feed into the striker. He'll
Okay.
and he'll also have enough knowledge to make a darting run if the striker, let's say, is holding the ball up. Ozil will run past him.
Isn't that what he played for Germany or no?
Yeah, I mean, but
Hours.
the thing is that Wenger's been playing him out wide, which is like buying a quarterback and playing him as a running back.
Okay.
It just doesn't really make sense.
Like using a good quarterback as Wildcat or something.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
That's a good analogy. Okay.
So it's just kind of Sanchez didn't start that game, which was tough for us because, again, with him cutting in on the wing, but
we read the article beforehand that Wenger said that Sanchez, he didn't like the way Sanchez was playing.
Yeah, he took Sanchez
so
out.
He put Chamberlain in, like Drew said.
He said Sanchez needs to release the ball earlier. He feels like he's holding the ball too much, trying to make runs with it, do it himself, and losing the ball in a dangerous situation, which is true.
He's good to do that. He's good enough to do that, though.
Yeah, he's good enough to do that, and I agree with that. I think Arsenal fans will agree that that's kind of what we were lacking, that kind of very pacey winger that can actually hold the ball. Walcott, his touch isn't always that great when he's healthy. So, but let's move forward. We got some college football action here.
You do that?
Yeah, let's jump into it.
All right, Drew, let's move on to that.
So the Heisman race is obviously it's still kind of heated.
Yes.
Very close. So why don't you guys give me your top 3 and your sleeper pick?
All right, Drew, you go first with your 3, and then I'll do mine, and then we'll do sleepers.
All right. So my number 1 for me, clear cut, is Amir Abdullah. He showed once again this week why I think he should be personally the number 1 pick in the draft if things keep going his way.
Okay.
He's got 833 yards. That's almost 200 more than any other Heisman candidate running back. He's got 8 touchdowns, which is the most out of any of them. And he's just a boss. If you see him, he scored 3 touchdowns the other day. He's got 3 out of 5 games with over 200 yards rushing, and that's just crazy. The stat I brought up earlier was he's on his way to beat Marcus Allen's record of career games with 200 yards rushing or more, which is crazy. And he also has over 6,000 career all-purpose yards. So I definitely think he's my number 1. Number 2 is probably Marcus Mariota, like a lot of people have him as number 1. Like I said, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, 94.4 QBR rating last game with 5 touchdowns against Washington State. Decent team. He's just what he is. He's got that running threat too. He's almost like I feel like a smarter Manziel. And then third, I'll probably have to go with Todd Gurley, the running back for Georgia. He's massive. He just plows through. I feel like he's kind of like a DeMarco Murray, and as we saw last night, that's what we need in the NFL because we don't have many big running backs.
Murray's a good back to be like
able to start right away. And then my surprise pick, everybody that knows me knows I'm a big University of Miami fan. Go you. Duke Johnson. He's got 86 carries, 525 yards, 6.1 yard average. He's got 4 touchdowns, and he is the second person to eclipse 4,000 yards in Miami's history. The only other person was Santana Moss with 4,000 receiving yards, so I thought that was awesome. They beat a 4-0 Duke last week. I was at the game and enjoyed it.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, and I mean he's been there the whole time. He's put up consistent numbers, and if he keeps playing the way he's playing, I think that he could be a surprise. Probably won't win it just because, but that's my picks.
All right, Glenn, what you got?
All right. One, I'm gonna go different. I'll name some different ones than you. Obviously, Gurley's in it. But one, I think it's Hill, mainly because they're 5-0 still. Being undefeated is huge. Like you were saying, Duke Johnson, Drew. He has if Miami goes undefeated or has 1 loss and they're in the Final Four, in my opinion. But I think Kenny Hill.
Losses.
What?
They already have 2 losses.
Yeah, he's done. He doesn't have a chance. Sorry. But Kenny Hill has 1,700 passing yards already. and he has 17 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, which is still an incredible ratio. So I think he's 1 right now, but their schedule's real tough. I don't think he'll win it. They'll lose out. They'll lose at least 2 games, I think. And 2, I'll go with Mariota, like you said. His team's, I think, number 2 in the country, Drew. And he's 13-0, like you said, 13 touchdowns, no picks. And he still only played. He has almost 1,200 yards passing, but he's only played 4 games compared to Hill's 5. They had a bye this week. 3, I'm going to go with Melvin Gordon. I think this guy is really great. He runs really upright, very fast back, kind of like Murray, who runs upright. He has 612 yards. He played 1 less game, less than your pick Abdullah as to this point. Same amount of touchdowns as Abdullah, but he averages a whole more yard than Abdullah.
Yeah,
less touches.
I was just looking at him last night too. I have him on my list, but I didn't think he'd finish out as strong. But yeah, he looks awesome for sure.
Yeah, they're both great. And then my surprise, although it'll be hard because the team he plays on, but he plays in the SEC, is Blake Sims, Drew, the Alabama quarterback. It's so hard for an Alabama quarterback to win it because of the system they're in. But they do play the best teams in the country. They are one of the best teams in the country. I think they're ranked 3. He only has 1,000 yards passing, but 8 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. But last game against Florida that he played, he looked really great. I'm not necessarily picking him to win it, but he's definitely a surprise. For me, he'll be my surprise. I'll leave it at that.
And also Amari Cooper, the wide receiver for Alabama. I mean, he's got 43 receptions, 655 yards, 15.2 yards per catch, and 5 touchdowns. He's also, I think ESPN has him ranked number 4 in the Heisman standing. So
I didn't know that. Maybe I should have picked him.
Back wide receiver. We don't really see too many wide receivers get it, but that's also another person to look out for.
Yeah, he needs a lot of help. Want to do top 4?
Let's jump into your Blazing 5 picks from last week.
Okay.
You made your picks last week of who you thought would win, kind of the breakdown of each game. Let's see how you fared.
All right, we're gonna go through my picks last week. I'll just do the Blazing 5. I actually went 5-0 for the first time this season.
That's pretty good.
My record before was like 4-15, but we won't talk about that. We'll talk about the 5-0 this week that I picked, Drew. I had the Packers. I think they were getting a point in Chicago. They ended up winning by 21 points, so that's clearly a point. So I won that one. I had the Cowboys. I believe they were getting a couple points, but they ended up winning by 21 as well. Actually, the same score now that I see that. So I won that one. The Lions were getting a point in New York. They beat the Jets by 7, so I won that one. And then the Eagles, the line actually finished at +4, but I took the bet at +5.5, and they actually ended up losing by 5. So I won that. Thank gosh I took it early. And then I did this weekend. I took Arkansas. They were getting 8.5, and they ended up losing in the last second by a touchdown. So they lost by 7, so I won that bet. So I went 5-0 this week, which is great.
Outstanding. I went 5-7 in my Premier League picks, so not too bad. Drew, you're the very first guest we had on the show, so we want to thank you for doing that and kind of introducing yourself to the Glen and Corey Show crowd.
Yeah, you'll be on many more times, I'm sure.
We'd like to have you on again. So,
thank you guys. Signing off. Thanks, followers.
See you, Drew.
Take care. So now let's swing back around to some things we didn't touch on. We're gonna go back to Premier League.
Okay.
Let's look at the top 4 here.
All right, let's do that.
We got Chelsea sitting in first place with 16 points.
No question there.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Obvious. Unbeaten. May not lose in 2014. We got Southampton in second place, sitting on 13 points.
Like you said, I think that it's only there because it's still early in the season.
It's early in the season, but they look strong. I mean, they haven't really played enough competition.
I think it'd be a miracle.
Well, they finished. I mean,
Because then again, you also have to look at who's not making it in. But no,
exactly. That's the key point. Exactly. Who's not making it in? Third is Man City. I think they continue to climb.
Mm-hmm.
I think they overtake Southampton and probably stay in second for the rest of the season. May not take first, but Arsenal at fourth, our comfy, warm fourth place, where we're always so comfortable.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm comfortable with that too.
We're on 10 points. I'm not comfortable with that, but I don't see us finishing above third.
But you would see us in.
I would see us going.
Unless Man U really kicks it around here, I think
that's true, and that's what we're going to talk about next year. Some games in the weekend coming up. Some notable games.
Okay.
Manchester United versus Everton. That's a 7th versus 14th place game, which is
crazy. They should both be
kind of shocking.
top 7-ish.
Yeah, at least Everton especially should be in that
Yeah.
6th place. I got that game in a draw.
Okay.
I got that game in a draw. Probably 1-1. The team really gets things going. Aston Villa versus Manchester City. That's City all day. It's an easy choice.
They just got crushed by Chelsea too, so
Yeah, they're coming off a loss.
I don't see any different in that score.
They're coming off a loss from us too. We beat them before that. Liverpool versus West Brom. Liverpool's in 14th place right now, which is shocking. I guess they're really reeling hard from that Suarez deal. Looks like they just haven't really got things going.
I see them as Man U though, with the Balotelli addition. I don't know, kind of give them a little bit of time to get used to each other.
Yeah, they have a lot of They have a lot of new signings. I don't think everyone's comfortable yet, but it's yet to be seen. I think they can make the top 7. I don't know. If
they won't finish that low.
I don't know. I don't know if they stay in the Champions League, but it's good for them. A hard issue is they're in the Champions League, which means more competitions, more grueling competition, more schedule. I don't know. It's yet to be seen.
Yeah.
Tottenham versus Southampton. I got that game in a draw also. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's an interesting table so far. Lots of changes yet to still happen.
Okay.
Lots of movement. So yeah, we'll see.
The Arsenal, you want to talk? No, I guess we already.
Well, no, we should talk about that.
Because we play Chelsea this weekend.
We do. We play Chelsea this weekend. That's a big game for us, and sadly, I don't think we get out of that game alive.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think, as an Arsenal fan, I'm just hoping it's not a rout. I hope we don't go down 3-0, 4-0, 5-0. I mean, who knows? And right now, we have no center defensive mids.
That is not good with that attack.
With that attack coming at us, I think we're going to be sitting ducks. Yeah. I don't know. It's
going
tough.
to be one of those games where we're going to have to score an early goal and try to get momentum quick.
We're just going to have to see what Chelsea likes to do in games, in games other than when they play us, for example. They park the bus. They'll sit all the defenders back and just let the other team attack and just defend. Now, I don't see them doing that against us at all. I think I see them coming out hot.
Okay.
They know we're vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Especially on the wings, defensive backs. Yeah. We really have no defensive midfield. And it all depends on where he plays Ozil. If Ozil plays right behind the striker, I think we'll do fine.
Yeah, I think he needs to realize that quick too.
But we have Flamini, who will be definitely starting that match, I believe, if Wilshere is not.
I wonder how early Diaby gets injured.
And we have Diaby, who I also may be starting that match. I don't see him doing well just starting cold against Chelsea. He hasn't really done much during the week. I don't know. It's tough. Flamini is the one that let us down on the weekend with that Tottenham goal. When you have the likes of Gareth Bale that you were defending against last season in derby matches, you can't let a person like Nasir Chadli score in a big match at home.
I think Chelsea's just sitting there salivating over playing us right now.
Yeah, and
with all the injuries.
I mean, I have lots of Chelsea fan friends, and I know that they can't wait.
Yes.
Having said that, I guess we could wrap it up here. In terms of the Chelsea-Arsenal game, I'd like to give a shout-out to Lucky Bar in D.C. Awesome place to go watch the match. Arsenal.com actually just did a piece on them on the 21st. Pretty cool. If you're from the D.C. area and you're watching, definitely check it out. I will be there on match day. My Arsenal fans and Chelsea fans, friends will be there
too, actually, now that you say that.
Hopefully Glen will be there. And before we wrap up, did you have anything else?
Yeah, I want to tonight the Pats go. I believe they go to Kansas City. I don't know what the spread is, but the Chiefs actually look. I'm going to take the Chiefs in this. I'll be different. I'll take the Chiefs.
Okay.
Brady.
Yeah,
he hasn't looked good this year. It looks really weird seeing him play bad football because most of us have never seen it. And the Chiefs, with all the injuries, have still looked really well. They're still running the ball well.
Chiefs have been on the come up.
It's weird, but a bunch of injuries too. And Alex Smith looks well, so it's in Kansas City, I believe. I could be wrong. I look really dumb if I am wrong right now, but I'm going to take the Chiefs. I don't know what the spread is, but straight up, I'll take the Chiefs. And I guess we'll preview next show. We'll talk about the Buffalo starting quarterback change. We're also going to look into some social issues, I guess, with the whole
social issues. A little different tone for the show for us, but definitely important nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, thanks for watching. We hope you guys liked it. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, give us your ideas for the show. And as you saw, Andrew was our first guest, and you can be the next if you'd like. So thank you.
His comments tomorrow night, 7:30. Thanks, guys.
See ya.